Yo, AJ, what's going on, dude?
What up, man? Dude. We are. This is not good. We're not ready.
No, this is perfect. This is perfect. It wouldn't be fucking without Parole, without everything happening absolutely last second. This is on brand, is what this is.
It is, and you know, like, and on top of all this, I'm like sitting here trying to respond to a comment that I got like
what?
On a YouTube video.
Priorities,
I don't know,
AJ.
Man.
Priorities.
My priorities are so messed up right now.
All right. Well, since you're trying to do stuff and I'm trying to do stuff, and you know we got 100 people here waiting, I say we start the show and we just keep doing stuff.
Let's do this.
All right. This is PSVR GAMESCAST Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't know what we're doing, but I'm heavily caffeinated. 6 p.m. Eastern, we do it live for your viewing pleasure right here on YouTube. But if you're not going to be here live, and we understand that not everybody can be, we have full lives. We have friends and families and loved ones. Sometimes they take priority. Very seldom do they take priority. But every so often, you can't be here live. In that case, you can either watch it VOD on YouTube or listen to it on podcast services of your choice. That's right. We do it audio style for your oral pleasure. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And this gentleman to my right over here with a quarter of a green screen behind him is AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
I'm glad you finally noticed. I was wondering how long. It only took like 3 weeks for you to pick up on that.
The funny thing is I can key that out and put whatever I want behind you.
Yeah. Well, I would tell you to do that, but I don't know. You have a
sick sense of humor. Yeah, for sure.
What is up, man? What is up, Game Cats? I see you all here. Zombie5150, Your Long Shadows, Vargo Soft, Nihilus Ride, the Gay Feline. Everybody's pumped up, man, and we are too. Because there's only 43 days. Is the counter on the screen? I don't see the counter. Where's the counter?
Hold on. I got a counter. I got a counter.
I don't know how long PSVR till PSVR 2 until that counter is right there.
I'm figuring it out right now.
But hey, man, let me just tell you, happy Monday, everybody. And I know that Mondays usually suck, but we are here to ensure your Monday sucks.
My Monday too? Yeah, my Monday. Their Mondays. Everybody's Mondays.
Just a little bit less.
This much less. Which, depending on the size of you as a human being, like if you were like a 6-inch tall human being, this would
less.
be.
We need to make it suck a lot less, like this one. Mondays really suck, man. We need to make it suck like this much.
Hoagie size.
Like sure, extra big ass hoagie size.
Nice. Does anyone actually call it hoagie? The only person I ever remember it being called a hoagie by was Bill Cosby. And so, yeah. You can't, it is kind of funny that you can't say Bill Cosby without somebody in the room now going, whoa.
Yeah, usually me.
You can't even bring up hoagies anymore, AJ. Hoagies. He ruined hoagies for everyone.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The only time I refer to it as a hoagie is usually when I make it myself.
Yep.
Where I get like an actual hoagie and I make some pot roast or something and put it in there with some green peppers and whatnot. And otherwise, yeah, I usually call it a sub sandwich.
PSVR Cooking Underground. In an update for you, AJ, 43 days, 5 hours, 53 minutes, and 42 seconds until we have PSVR 2 in our dirty, scrubby little hands.
Yes, can't wait.
Yeah, neither can I. AJ, lots of cool cats out there. In case you guys don't know, so many people help this channel run. The moderators are my lifeblood around here. We love you so very much. They've been helping me out nonstop, not just here, but over on Discord. Make sure you click the link in the description below and join us over on Discord where conversations like this, but maybe more intelligent, happen 24/7. So come join us over there. Also, people like Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry gets the timestamps into this show. So if there's not timestamps, he's the one to blame, but more importantly, to thank once they're there. And JMA, of course, gets this thing up on podcast services of your choice, yes, including Spotify. But AJ, besides those people and the people who support us on patreon.com/withoutparolegames and are constantly here with emotional and financial support, every Monday we like to thank a different group of cats. Isn't that right?
That's right, Brian. That's right.
It's still your turn to talk.
Oh, yeah. We would like to thank those who support us in another way by changing their name to something GameCat, something GameCat related, or something GameCat adjacent, as you and something GameCat adjacent like to say. And this week, we have a whopping 4 new GameCats to welcome to the GameCat Dojo. Starting with Kawa04 now, the Fork Knife Game Kitten.
Bing!
One of your corrupted disciples. Another one of your corrupted fork knife disciples.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Everyone playing Fortnite with me.
I'm not.
Everyone playing Fortnite with me is having a good time. Everyone else, well, not so much. Who else we got, AJ?
We've also got Serial Killer, the Agent of Chaos Game Cat.
Bing! Yeah, no longer Movember, but Serial Killer is still here with us, changing his name on the regular. We love you guys so very much.
What? So he holds all these like charities, these wonderful events, and then when that's all over with, he just turns into an agent of chaos. I see.
Yeah,
that's how it's got to be balanced. You know? We've also got Alejembe D Cat Allergic Game Cat.
Bing! Hey man. We can't all be so fortunate to be able to snuggle with our cats allergen free. So, we understand Alhambra. So we got cats in here that don't even like cats. They're game dogs, they're game wolves, they're game chickens, they're game turkeys, they're game turtles, they're game eagles. There's all sorts of cats out there.
It's funny because one thing I've noticed is whenever I have a friend that is allergic to cats, if there's ever a cat around, it always gravitates towards that person the most. I don't know why.
Cats know.
It's like a sixth sense in cats. Yeah.
Cats know.
Finally, last but certainly not least, we've got StingrayX, the Game Cat AF.
Bing. Yeah, dude. Shout out to Stingray because you and I'm sure will both be giving a few shout outs later on regarding our Gran Turismo first playthroughs. You and I have been blasting through that game quite a bit. But fortunately, I think for both of us, a lot of the cats that we hang out with on Discord have already been through that struggle that we're going through now, right? And had like little bits of advice for us. And so Stingray was definitely a huge help to me today. So shout out to Stingray. Thank you for all the Gran Turismo help.
Yeah, you got to it before I did. Basically, the same thing I was going to say was definitely one of the cats that I got to actually can share some thoughts with the multiplayer. And, him along with a couple others, which we'll mention when we get there, to really play a lot of Gran Turismo 7 leading up to launch. And, so we're ready.
100%. I just saw in the chat somebody's reminding us that there was a little bit of an extra little switchback clip shown off on Twitter today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see it? Okay. Well, let me let me see if I can download this sucker so we can bring it up on the screen properly.
Oh, yeah. I want to see this. I see it now.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited about Switchback. I'm so freaking excited. And you should be too. Definitely one of the ones. I wish I had a pre-order discount, but it doesn't even matter. Like, oh, yes. Oh, that looks nice.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Coasterphobia. An intense. Is that real? Coasterphobia? Is it? Usually it's got some weird name with it. That's
an excellent. You guys can probably hear it in the background. Yep. But there we go. It's super, super short. There's not a whole lot to show off here. Real quick, AJ, while I'm getting this thing up on the screen, can you read Looper, the Underground GameCats tip for me? Do you have a second?
Why, I sure can, for my good friend Looper, the Underground GameCat Elite Name Squad in the house with the €5 donation. Says February 23rd, 2021. Initial announcement. February 22nd, 2022. Headset design reveal. February 22nd, 2023. Release.
Nice. All right, let's see if this will...
So, yeah, definitely a theme here. And I thought... we were definitely thinking that they were doing something there was some pattern we were noticing with the dates here. A lot of 222s and stuff like that. So interesting that they stuck with that.
All right, so here is the coaster phobia dealie that they threw up on Twitter. There is not a whole lot here, right? It's kind of just an ascent up kind of this mountain with some. We get to kind of see a little bit of the motif of this.
Got the same old good looking Rush of Blood art style with it, which I'm super excited about because, yeah, I mean, man, this is going to be so good. I'm so excited about this. I'm still like tempted to make Switchback the first game I play, just because you know, Rush of Blood was the reason I bought a PSVR, was the first game I played on PSVR, and it was like amazing. And it was a game that, you know, like, it was a game that I showed off to all my friends when I first got my VR, and like they were like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like they seem to have a really, really good time with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where it's going to fall. Again, I think I'm pretty gung-ho about starting with Horizon Call of the Mountain, just because I think it's going to be the most beautiful thing we've ever seen in VR. But this will obviously be day one, just like a lot of things will be day one.
Yeah. There's like a big, like 5. I mean, there'll definitely be more than 5 games I play day one, but I've definitely got my eye on like 5 big games first to start with.
Yeah, the hard thing is going to be just like sticking with one. Once you've like kind of sampled about everything, you're like, okay, now that I've sort of sampled everything, I got to pick a game and just kind of stick with it. Or that's what I've got to have to do. I'm gonna have to really focus on certain games just to get a review out there. But yeah, so not a whole lot, but man, I'll take whatever I can get as far as Switchback's concerned. A little bit more footage is always good. As far as PSVR 2 though, that's not the only update we got today. Interestingly enough, we got a little bit of Runner news, right? Everybody was tagging me and saying, hey, Runner is up on the PlayStation Store. And if you head on over to the PlayStation Store, at least on the PC, I know that these stores are always different. You'll see that, no, it's not. Here's the same list of games that we've been seeing for quite a while. But at one point today, Runner was right there at the very bottom of it, right next to Crossfire Sierra Squad. And then you would click on it, and it would bring you to an error screen. It says, like, sorry, this is probably not where you meant to be. And I was like, okay. And so like maybe they're just getting the page up now. Maybe something's happening slowly on Sony's back end, right? Maybe the hamsters are slower on the wheel than usual today. And then so every so often I'd go back and refresh the page or click on the PSVR 2 page again. And sometimes it would be there and sometimes it wouldn't be there. And then here we are hours and hours later, and it's simply not there anymore. So it does seem like the Runner will be the next game that'll appear on the store. And if you guys have been paying attention, True and Pixel has confirmed that Runner will be a launch title, despite the fact that we didn't include it on Friday's show when we talked about all the launch titles. My apologies regarding that.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple little, a lot of this stuff we've been very early about. Like because we're so obsessed and excited that we kind of stalk the PlayStation sites from every angle possible. And I've noticed a couple things, and Runner was one that, a lot of people, we saw it. I know it exists because there was people taking screenshots and sending to us, like you said. But one thing I noticed is that like it's more of like a placeholder that's accidentally going live, and that's kind of what's been happening over and over. There's when we first saw the Horizon page, it was like they all have this web URL that's like US concept, and so we're just happening to see these ahead of time. But hey, Nihilus Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, I was gonna ask. Perfect, because Nihilus Ryan is asking the question I was just about to ask you. Nihilus Ryan, yeah. I'll steal this from you. AJ said it's good too, right, AJ?
Yeah. So there's been a slew of games that I have played on the Quest 2 that were coming to PSVR 2 because I wanted to do a little preview for them.
Right.
I did actually stream this one on my channel. And yeah, man, I honestly love this game. Like for a smaller indie title, I think this game is super, super fun. Now, it may not be for everybody, but it is definitely for me. And I was vibing with it hard, and I think it's awesome.
Nice. True and Pixel was nice enough to send this to me on Quest about a month and a half ago, and I downloaded it immediately and and I don't know what's been going on, man. I have not turned on my Quest in a month and a half. Like I used to play Walkabout mini golf like at least once a week, sometimes twice, and then my Quest has sort of just fallen out of rotation completely. And so because I haven't been putting that thing on, there's a bunch of Quest games that I kind of want to play the same way that you've been playing. Even games like Tentacular and other games that we know are coming, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. These are all games that I'm curious about and would like to have an idea of what to expect before we play them on PSVR 2. Runner, obviously, kind of top on that list. Haven't touched it. Just because I just don't have the desire to put my Quest on right now. I don't have a huge desire to put my PSVR on either. So in case anyone's like, oh, Brian's hating on the Quest. No, Brian's just kind of tired of VR at the moment and is waiting for VR to finally take a step forward after 6 fucking years of covering it. And so like, again, PSVR 2 coming along just at the right time, just like PSVR 1 did, to renew my love of something. So this is... I'm very, very excited for February. I can't wait to play this game, but I will play it on Quest prior.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super stylish. It's got this late 80s anime, like dark and gritty style to it, like futuristic kind of and neon, like an Akira, I would say. Akira, Ghost in the Shell. It's got like very much an art style like that. You're on the motorcycle. You've got guns that you shoot a bunch of robots with. And yeah, the cool thing is it's getting... it looked great on Quest. I actually thought it was like one of the better looking games on the Quest. It's one of my more favorite games that I previewed. Definitely up there, along with like Ultra Wings and Demio. I enjoyed these way more than like, let's say, the Star Wars game and Twilight Zone. I was not feeling those very much, but yeah, this was absolutely awesome. And the good thing is it's getting PSVR and 2 enhancements. It's getting, some visual enhancements, maybe not much, but some. It should have all the bells and whistles of the PSVR 2. And on top of that, by the time it gets to us, it's going to have some additional content as well. Nice. That if you follow them on Twitter at the Runner VR account, they've been kind of posting some updates about some additional modes and quality of life things they're doing. So it's going to be even better by the time it gets to us. And it is a badass game. Definitely don't sleep on it. It's going to be relatively cheap too.
And if you don't remember, a little bit of Runner trivia for you. This was the very, very first PSVR 2 game ever announced. People say that, that people give credit to other games. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there might be one other game that could take that credit. I want to say Maze Theory's Engram, which used to be called something else, was the first one announced. There was no video footage for it. There was we had no idea what the gameplay would be like. This is the first one we ever saw a video of, and that was on Without Parole on April's PSVR AS celebration, I believe. The very first PSVR 2 game ever revealed, ever.
Yeah, super cool game. Bite-sized. Well, actually, you could still spend a few hours on it, but really cool, man. Really cool. Like I grew up playing Mega Man, and this gives me like a lot of Mega Man vibes, just with like its style and stuff. And yeah, I love it. Definitely one to look forward to for sure.
Cool. Very excited, man. Very excited. So we're looking forward to quite a few games, AJ, obviously. Yes. Actually, wait a minute. Did we skip Hubris? We had something to talk about with Hubris, right? Didn't we?
Yeah. So, Hubris has come up in conversation a couple times because it also had a PlayStation Store listing. Mm-hmm. However, this one didn't have a release date or anything. So we've been kind of speculating about it. We know the game has gone gold. Well, I like video game magazines, Brian, and I read through a lot of them.
Me too.
And one of the things I like about them is sometimes, every now and then, it's very rare, but every occasionally, there will be a little tidbit of info that's nice. And I don't know if this one's maybe going to be considered super nice, but While reading through Play Magazine, that's the formerly known as Official PlayStation UK Magazine, they actually had an interview with the Hubris devs regarding the game. And up at the very top, they have an ETA for the game. And the ETA actually said that it is expected to be around November of 2023. So not looking like it's going to be the launch title or launch window title that we were kind of expecting / hoping.
Yeah, I think since the very beginning they've been saying 2023 and just being like kind of having that blanket statement. So I've always been like, all right, cool, let us know. It's sort of I'm certainly not upset about this news even in the slightest. I'm very happy that we're starting to pepper in titles throughout the course of 2023 because dude, launch is going to be so packed, and then like right after launch we're getting Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, and so I mean it's like, and this is just
and then around summer is when Crossfire Sierra Squad is expected.
There you go. So yeah, so just sort of starting to fill in these gaps of 2023 is going to be really, really nice, and just to let us know what we have to look forward to. And of course, Hubris all over the place as far as reviews go, and from what I played, the demo on Steam, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I just want to know where it's going, right? Because they set up all of these, I would say, relatively interesting mechanics, and they give us everything to do from climbing and shooting and everything you want to do in VR. The swimming, then there's a little bit of crafting, and like it's like almost exactly what you'd want, and it feels like almost exactly what you'd want. So I have a feeling that I'm going to finish the game and go, this was almost exactly what I wanted, if the demo was anything to go by. So we'll see.
Wes is corroborating this information, saying that I could verify this launch window. What up, Wes Day? Says I was told late 23. So yeah, that's typically this magazine stuff. Like I said, it sucks how little information there is, but it's usually there and it's usually accurate. So
you know why it's usually accurate, AJ, is because magazines have to like be written and sort of edited and placed together so far ahead of when we actually get it in our hands that a lot of people say, well, this information should be public by the time this magazine gets printed, and so so a lot of developers and publishers will give that information to physical print magazines early and have it be published in there because they think that something is happening prior to this. It's not always the case, and so sometimes you will learn things first in a print magazine, and that's not where you're supposed to learn it first. We got a tip right here.
I wish I still learned it first from print magazines because I miss print magazines.
Oh yeah, I do. Like when anytime EGM showed up in my mailbox, it was like my favorite day of the month. It was like I'm going to scour this from beginning to end, and I had a process, to like kind of flip through it and casually read the articles that I really wanted to read as I went through from beginning to end, but again, only reading the reviews that I cared about and that kind of stuff, and then start over from the beginning and then start dissecting it a little bit more and start reading the stuff I was only mildly interested in, and then by the end of the week I had the whole thing fucking memorized.
One could say I'm a fan of video game magazines.
One could say if you've ever been in my apartment, it's almost like the only reading material you can find in here. It's like just old.
That's the best reading material.
Just old issues of Electronic Gaming Monthly everywhere. We got Sean Turner in the chat with the $5 tip. Says, are you more or less hyped after CES and people getting hands-on? Sorry, joined late. Didn't know what topic was on today. I'm not more or less excited after CES. Let me rephrase that. After people went hands-on, after Wes went hands-on, I wasn't more or less excited. The news that came out of CES about Gran Turismo specifically, I mean, amazing news. And I don't think, that was the title we needed to hear about for launch, like to really round out the launch lineup and to give us another AAA title, give us something that's like super, super deep, something that we can spend hundreds of hours in. We needed to hear that. And so just kind of confirming that game that I needed to know about made me really, really happy. So that raised my hype level significantly.
Yeah, it certainly makes me feel a lot better about the launch and, the narrative surrounding it. And, We needed a killer app like this, and make no mistake, Gran Turismo 7 is absolutely a very, very big killer app. I mean, this is the highest selling first party IP from PlayStation of all time. It means a lot to me too, because it was something I played on the original PS1. And yeah, the Gran Turismo 7 prior to this VR announcement was a massive success. So it's going to be really, really important for getting a lot of people to get headsets and playing them as well. And yeah, I can't wait to talk about it more.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to talk about it more either, AJ.
I was waiting for that.
Stevie Dan in the chat with the Stevie Dan 1969 in the chat with the 2.22 quid says 43 days, 5 hours, 23 minutes till my birthday. Wait.
Nice.
So your birthday and PSVR 2 same day.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great birthday present.
Gift.
Right? I hope it shows up on time. Like that would be the worst if you're like, it's my birthday, and then you're just like sitting around waiting for the mail to show up until like 2 days later. That would suck. Boy, I really found a way to bring that down, didn't I? All right. Your birthday's gonna suck. Just kidding. I hope your birthday is amazing. I hope we're all celebrating your birthday with PSVR 2 headsets on our face, Stevie Dan. Carly, the Gamecat. By the way, one of the best fucking Gamecat names of all time. With the $5 tip says, I decided to wait and pick up my headset at a retailer instead of pre-order through Sony. How much of a gamble do you think waiting is? What do you think, AJ?
I don't know why you'd even gamble like that. I mean, it should be available anywhere you go, I'd imagine, unless there is some kind of problem with like retailers. But I don't know. You can literally go to PlayStation Direct right now and just order it, and it should get there on time. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I got tired of waiting. A lot of people. There's always been this long history of traditional going out, waiting out in long lines, waiting till game, waiting
for a midnight release.
Yeah, for a midnight release. I have never enjoyed that one bit. I have always just either bought it digital or just go later. So go the next day or whatnot, because it's always going to be there. So, yeah. And with this, it's like, yeah, I don't want to have to go to the store to get it when I can have it delivered to me.
Listen, I will say that if I find out that a store near me is doing midnight release, I can go pick it up at midnight, then I will absolutely cancel my pre-order from Sony and buy it there, because at least I will have it at midnight, and I know that I will have it at midnight. Otherwise, Sony's not guaranteeing launch day delivery. If I could get it from Amazon or Walmart or any other store that guarantees a release day delivery, great. But Sony's not guaranteeing that. They're giving like a week, where it's like you could get it on the 22nd, but you also might get it on the 29th. And so that scares the crap out of me. Can you imagine PSVR without Parole tuning in on a launch day, and then the day after launch, and the day after that, and it's just me sitting here going, I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Where is it, Sony? Please deliver my PSVR.
I'm not really worried about it, but it is a fair point that, it's rather than sitting there waiting around for it. It's like, I don't know. What if you go there and what if you cancel your pre-order and then you go to the store and they're all out though? They're all sold out, or they don't have one at your location. So it's all a gamble, man. It's all a gamble.
It is. I guess we're buying two.
I got my PS5. I think right first thing that morning. So, or I don't think it took very long to get my PS5. So I feel pretty good about it.
Well, AJ, I got to say that, as excited as I was about Gran Turismo 7 being a launch title, because it's such a big game and such a big IP, like you said, I think it's number one selling Sony IP. Second, I believe, is Horizon. And so we're getting the two biggest Sony IPs on day one. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the data in front of me.
I don't think Horizon is the most selling of all time, but it is
there's only two titles, right? So comparing individual titles, I think it's pretty high up there. But yeah, if you're combining every title ever made in a series, maybe Killzone might even beat that.
No, I think it's like I want to say it's like Gran Turismo and like Tomb Raider and stuff like that.
Tomb Raider's not Sony first party IP. AJ, stay
Oh,
with me.
first party.
Stay with me,
First party.
man. I know you can do it. All right. What- Oh yeah, dude. So as excited as I was a little bit nervous, right, about it being Gran Turismo because I'm like, oh man, I haven't played a sim racer in so long. I think the last sim racer I played was Gran Turismo A Spec on PS2. I kind of forgot about that because I played the PS1 original Gran
Is that
Turismo,
PS2 or PS3?
PS2, Gran Turismo
Hmm.
3 A Spec, and
Oh, right.
yeah, and it was, and I kind of forgot about it because I played some of the PSP version, and then I was talking to Rypop today, and he reminded me that A Spec was a thing, and I was like, oh yeah, like it was such a nice showpiece for your brand new PS2 because it came out soon after launch. I forget how soon, like within a year, right?
Yep.
So, but yeah, I haven't. But that's 20 plus years ago, and I haven't played a racing sim, not seriously, in that long. So AJ, you and I and a bunch of other cats out there decided we might not want to wait until we get our PSVR 2 headsets. We want to jump into this thing now, maybe take care of some of those really strenuous license tests and kind of start unlocking everything before our headsets get here. And so you and I, we both bought it during the recent sale. It was like $40
Yep.
instead of 70 for the PlayStation 5 version, and we downloaded it. I had to delete everything off my hard drive in order to install it because I haven't installed my new hard drive yet. It's massive,
Yeah.
and so we've been playing it, dude. Like right off the bat, man. Like let's Batman. What are your first impressions? Have you played any racing sims recently? Is this the first time you've been back into one in a while? What's your situation on this?
Yeah, without going on my the long history of stuff. I used to love. I mean, I played a lot of Gran Turismo 1 on the PlayStation 1. When 2 came out, I played it a little bit. Played a little bit of 3. Played some 5, and then I went on like a 10-year hiatus of racing games because for a long time just nothing really appealed to me. Uh, and then that is until PSVR got some racing game support. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't crazy about, there was like Dirt Rally and there was Gran Turismo and then of course a couple other games. And I wasn't like too super crazy about them with the Dual Shock. I wasn't super into it. But then I took a risk and I got a racing wheel because like I'm a big arcade guy. I love light gun games. I love arcade racing games. And when I got the racing wheel and got that set up with Gran Turismo Sport and Dirt Rally, I was like instantly in love again because I just feel like sim racers are such a good fit for VR and it just makes the experience that much more immersive when it's like you have to actually like there's rules you have to play by and you really it really teaches you like how to drive a certain way and you have to follow the rules and yeah man so I put about 20 hours into Gran Turismo Sport, which obviously had that really limited mode that they did update over time to include all 20 tracks, but you were limited to a mode where you could race against one AI and then just time trials, which you could race against yourself. And that was it. So I loved it, but it was very, very limited.
Yeah. So obviously this is a dream come true, right? It's like we were hoping for all the modes and everything to come over from Gran Turismo Sport to PSVR 1. Didn't happen. Like you said, we got a lot more content over time, but still not the full campaign. It's like it just wasn't the game that we wanted to put on a headset and sink hundreds of hours into unlocking everything and playing through it. So this is a dream come true, basically.
It is a dream come true because for so many reasons. I mean, the attention to detail that the Gran Turismo series, pays respects to in terms of like the automobile industry and stuff. I mean, I remember back in the day with Gran Turismo 1, like I would actually, a lot of my knowledge of cars came from Gran Turismo and they've like kind of doubled down on that, with this, like they they give you an amazing game, but they also try to teach you a little bit about it as well, and about cars and stuff, and you learn a little bit too. But
yeah, and that brings me to my first complaint, AJ. I am sick of learning in video games. Gran Turismo is insistent on being like, Brian, you don't know anything about cars. Sit down. We're going to teach you. And I'm going to be like, no, I'm like jamming on the X button as much as possible, trying to push through all the dialogue. It's a minor complaint, right? But I will say that when it comes to like the user interface and just sort of like the ease of use of the entire thing and just going from race to race to race, there's a few hoops to jump through when it comes to just simply progressing through the game. Starting with like, how long was that intro video that they make you sit through the first time? Guys, you have to watch the 5+ minute intro video. And then it'll make you watch it every single time you start Gran Turismo 7, unless you go into the settings menu and disable the intro video. Like, what is wrong with them? Like, who thinks to go into a settings menu to disable the intro video the first time? You think, oh, maybe it's like installing something, maybe it's downloading something in the background while this is happening, right? No, they just fucking really love their intro video and decided that you need to watch it every time you start the game up.
Yeah, the intro video, the first time you boot it up, they make you watch the whole thing, and it's like a Netflix series of the Beatles, and it like doesn't even make sense. But yeah, I mean, it was super annoying, but that's why I'm glad to get all this stuff out of the way now.
Yeah. Because
like when it comes to the VR stuff, it's like I just want to jump in and start playing, and that's why we're knocking out some of these things right now as it is. But yeah, intro is thing, but I tell you what, I love the structure. I love that this series is 25 years old. They've been celebrating 25th anniversary, and like this game is really true to just like the original, like in so many ways. I mean, you have these license tests that you have to do that are these short little bursts that you can get gold, silver, or bronze in, and you get credits to unlock other cars. And I really love the way that this game is structured, that it has these license tests, that it has they have the cafe now, which is like kind of like the main campaign. You unlock more cars from it. They've got missions to do. There's customization. There's a lot of content here that is really, really awesome.
You've got to grind to unlock multiplayer.
You have to get to, I think, I don't remember now what it was. I think it was like 15 or something. You have to get what did you have to grind to?
I don't remember. But everything slowly unlocks. You don't start the game and it's like, oh, now you can go customize your car. Now you can go buy parts for your car. Now you can go do this. And and again, if anybody's been playing Gran Turismo for every single entry and they've been playing the last few, and there's definitely people out there being like, Brian, this is just how shit's been for a while. Maybe, yeah, I'm fine. I'm giving you the perspective of somebody who hasn't played since A-Spec, right? Who hasn't played a Gran Turismo game in over 20 years, and kind of shocked to jump in and be like, oh, I got some work to do before like I really even get into the game. What did you focus on, AJ? Because I think right away there's two things you can really focus on, right? You can focus on the cafe and just going on these like little missions in order to unlock cars, or you can go over to the license side of things, which has been there since day one, and knock out the license tests. What did you focus on?
I did start with the licenses. I mostly have been bouncing back and forth between the license tests and then the cafe stuff, because that's where you unlock more features. That's where you unlock more cars. You get lots of credits. You get more tracks that way. So I want to have like as many tracks and races and stuff as much as possible that I can get ready for, and have a couple cars along the way as well.
Yeah. The old VR grid in the chat says, every time AJ describes what he likes about Gran Turismo, it reminds me what I hate about it. And dude, I am so right there, right? I am so right there. So I woke up at 5 a.m. today, right? I just woke up and I was like, well, I guess I'm awake. I'm gonna go grind. Like that was my first instinct at 5 a.m. was like, I need to go grind. I need to play as much Gran Turismo as I possibly can before GAMESCAST, so I have like a really good understanding. I played a little bit yesterday, but today was the day, right? And I sank in so much time today. And I played I got every single license. The only thing I need to do is finish the last test on the last license, and then I will have all of my licenses.
Nice.
And no, AJ, I did not get gold medals on any of them. Because if you guys are members of our Discord and hang out in the voice chat, was it Saturday? It was Saturday.
Yeah.
You were there all day doing license tests, you'd get a bronze and you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna replay that. Oh, I got a silver, and then you replay it, and you're like, you need to fail it, and then I mean, you were on each test for a very long time trying to get a gold. Did you eventually throw in the towel on that? Because dude, I would have lost my mind if I spent that much time on the license test.
Yeah, a lot of the cats were like, dude, don't worry about getting gold right now. They're like, look, he's like, you've got a long road ahead.
Yeah.
And they were like, just get bronze and move on. And I couldn't, man. I was like, no, I have to get gold. And yeah, I spent probably 2 hours alone on one challenge trying to get it. It was so difficult. But I want to relearn how to play the game properly, how to do the things that it's trying to teach you and learn those things. And to be honest with you, even though some of those licenses took me like 100 times, I was still having so much fun. Like it was difficult, but it was also like not like I wasn't like angry or frustrated. I was like, no, like I just want to keep doing it until I get it right and figure out what it's trying to tell me. And they give you a lot of good tools at your disposal to try and visually show you. They try and tell you what you're supposed to be doing. They give you a lot of help there too. So now here's the thing though. So I got on the B license, there's on the first B license, I got all golds on there, which you also get unlock a car if you get all gold there, which is nice.
But see, those tests are like, I mean, not too stressful, right? I mean, you can easily get bronze or silver on your first try on every single one of those. And so, like, I wouldn't mind going back and trying to gold every single one on the B license. Yeah. After that, I'm like, no, I'm tapping out. You were like, I didn't get frustrated, and that's why I was laughing because dude, I mean, I was throwing my controller, I was swearing, I was getting mad at this game. I was like, I fucking hate this game. The number of times I said that I hate this game and that it's trash today. The number of times I said Gran Turismo 7 is trash out loud to other people, like countless, because it can be so frustrating. But at the same time, the more time you put into it, the more you get out of it. And so, despite the fact that I kept failing and kept getting frustrated, I stuck with it, and ultimately, I'm really, really happy with how it all turned out. But anyway,
here's the thing, man. Most of you, when you jump into this game, you're gonna suck. Like I sucked. Brian probably sucked.
Big time.
Everybody is gonna suck when they jump into this for the first time, unless you're like a real life, professional racer. You're not gonna just pick this up and get it right away. You're gonna have to spend some time with it. But that's the funny thing is like at first, I was like, I got to get gold on everything. And yeah, surely enough, it didn't take very long. I mean, I've put maybe 10 hours into it so far, but not too long after that, where I just got to the point where I'm like, okay, I just want to pass. Like, I just want to pass. I want to keep unlocking stuff. You can always go back and work on getting the golds once you get a little bit better at the game.
If you're not AJ, you're going to burn yourself out on this shit. Like, you're going to hate the game before you even really get into it. And you don't need to really pass too many license tests, right? I think Stingray was telling me you just need to pass the first two tests, like what is it, B and A, and then you're pretty good for quite a while.
Yeah, that'll get you a good like 7 to 10 hours into the game or something. But that's the thing, man. This game has a lot of content and it is grindy. So it will eventually grind you down, which is kind of what started happening with me, where I was having so much fun, and then but it just never ends, it just seems like it never ends. So like you do want to kind of pace yourself a little bit. I took breaks. I maybe jumped into something else for a little bit, came back to it. but it's so nice just having so much game there, and just so much to do. Like like you said, you can spend dozens, if not hundreds of hours into this.
Agreed. Hey, let's knock out a few tips real quick, and then we're going to get into a lot of people's questions and so the ways that we were playing the game. AJ, I think it's very important to tell people how we were knocking this shit out. Twitcher, the single player Gamecat with the £5 says there's a leaderboard in Gran Turismo 7 that I am number 1 on. He says it's my friends list at least. That's what comes up by default. And so I got to say, it was really nice to jump in and like just seeing like Herb and Madman and Black the Gamecat and Stingray, like everybody, boom, 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 right down the list. And I was like, yeah, it's so good to see everybody's time. And everybody's time was way better than mine. But again, I wasn't, sitting there trying to get golds.
I mean, I was, and they were still beating mine. But yeah, just a side note, that's a great feature that a lot of these licenses, a lot of these challenges, they do have like a friends leaderboard. So you can see, and you'll see a lot of cats on there already. And yeah, it makes you, it certainly, whether you do it or not, it certainly makes you want to spend more time on that one thing and get higher on the leaderboard on it.
Yeah, 100%. Twitcher also followed that up regarding the friends list, saying if you happen to beat his time because he's number 1 on it, then you're no longer going to be on his friends list. He's going to delete you as a friend, and that's totally fair. Twitcher, you got to be number 1. I
had one challenge that on my like second try, I got first on the leaderboard, and I was like, holy shit! And then Pacer was like, nah, man. And so like 5 seconds later, he like got number 1. So I think maybe that was just a lesser known challenge.
We're going to take a slight detour for a second because Ryan Harvey was asking us with a $2 tip. Do you think we'll see another Wipeout game on PSVR 2? That's the rumor, right? We haven't heard anything about Wipeout Omega Collection being ported over, but we have heard rumors of a brand new Wipeout game, and it would make absolutely perfect sense to get that to be a hybrid game.
Yeah, it would be awesome because Wipeout was awesome, and I'd love to see it this time to see if they have like a, as great as it was, I do think it was lacking the slightest bit of immersion with just the DualShock, being limited to DualShock. I did feel like I wanted, a HOTAS support or, even move support to like control. I mean, it would be so difficult with the moves, but hypothetically, you could, if it was with the orbs and there was an in-game HOTAS or something and it actually functioned well, it could be super fun and immersive. But yeah, that is one of the rumors. However, we have not heard anything else about it since, so we just got to be more patient.
All right, I'm gonna double up on these tips here because 2 of them are basically asking the same question. We got Matt Campbell with the $5 tip says, "What gaming chair do you recommend for the best comfort while in VR? I've had issues with my recliner using the original PSVR with the Move controllers." And then Rubber Fingers, because this all pertains to our setup, with the $5 tip says, "Do you know what kind of racing wheel you're going to get for Gran Turismo 7? And do either of you drive standard in real life?" So these are kind of similar questions. I don't really sit in VR, so I don't know about you, AJ, but I don't have a good place to just sit. Even games that you could sit in these days, I stand mostly because there's a camera pointing at me when I do live streams. I kind of have to be in the same place every time. Otherwise, I just drag my desk chair over with no arms, like a swivel chair.
It depends on the game for me, really. I mean, typically games that use the DualShock, I would play sitting, and then games that use Move controllers, I would play standing, except for games that you're actually sitting in the game. I mean, to me, why break that immersion when you can just sit down like Rush of Blood? It's like, no, I didn't want to play Rush of Blood standing or Catch and Release standing. So it really just depends on the game. But as for the chair, all I can say is, man, you get what you pay for, so be careful. I really don't recommend going for just you do want a gaming chair. If you can find a gaming chair, they're super comfy. But again, be careful because you want to get something really comfortable. And if you go too cheap, which is usually like under $100, you're going to get something that is going to hurt. Like this one that I'm on right now, I don't know. It's some off-brand thing. I got it for maybe like $120. It was like 150 back in the day, 170. And it lasted a long time, but even it's starting to get a little uncomfortable now. So I got like a lumbar support. I got a butt pillow thing for it. which helps. But yeah, I really recommend if you're going to be spending lots of time. This is a bucket style gaming chair that's like, was highly rated and was really comfy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the complete opposite. When I sit, I have like this. I like this cheap, the basics Amazon desk chair from like straight off Amazon.com. Just make sure you don't have any arms on it. That's the important thing. Somebody said in the chat that ST said the sofa is fine. No, it's not. Do you know how number of times I sat on a sofa and tried to put my hands down and slammed the sofa next to me? No, you need that freedom of movement where you can reach down next to you. And so that's why I think if you're sitting, a desk chair with no arms is the absolute best way to go. Otherwise, you'll definitely break immersion. AJ, when you talk about these wheels and how we're gonna play these things, man, because again, Rubber Fingers was asking about the best kind of racing wheel the kind of racing wheel we're gonna get for Gran Turismo 7, and do either of us drive standard in real life? I'll take the easy part first. Yeah, man, I've been driving stick basically my whole life. Only my first car that I had for like 2 years was automatic, and I can't stand automatics, man. I just feel like I'm not doing anything while driving. Like, it's weird.
It's the opposite for me. I started out driving stick, and then maybe the last 20 years I've been driving automatic, and no complaints here with bumper to bumper traffic in Atlanta. It's like, fuck a stick. I don't care anymore. But if I lived in somewhere with a little bit more, I mean, there's some good places to drive around here, but too much bumper to bumper traffic for stick for me.
So let's get into what we're racing with here. Currently, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm buying to have the optimal setup for when Gran Turismo 7 hits PSVR 2. I'm looking at getting a good racing wheel with a shifter, with obviously the pedals, right, with clutch, and then also the kind of like the rig with like an actual like car seat in it, so I can like be comfortable and just have the whole thing set up all the time, so I can just jump into it anytime I want to play Gran Turismo 7. It's going to be kind of expensive, I'm sure, but that is what I'm looking at. And everybody's going back and forth between two specific wheels. Every time I bring this up, people either say, what, the Thrustmaster 150 Pro, AJ? Is that
There's a Thrustmaster T150.
Mm-hmm.
What the important thing is, you want to get one that has force feedback and good lots of software support. Usually it's the Thrustmaster series and the Logitech series. There are some exceptions as well. But yeah, you want to look for the ones that have the force feedback, which is like when you're, when the thing actually gives you some kind of feedback. I've got the T150 Pro, which I'll try to give you. You can't really see it too well.
Is your dog okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
All right, just making sure.
Sorry about like the wet wipe in the bottle on the floor, the mess. But that's the T150 Pro. And the difference is, so the T150 has two pedals, just the accelerator and the brake, and then has plastic pedals. The T150 Pro, the one that I have, actually has three pedals. They're metal, and then it has the option for the stick. I haven't gotten the stick yet because it's just, I'll be honest with you, man, the racing rig is expensive.
Yep.
And so I haven't completely finished it yet, but I love what I have so far. It's at least the minimal, like, awesome experience you can have.
Nice. Yeah. So my apologies to anybody who's typing a comment right now. You can delete it because every time I bring this up, immediately it's like recommendations come in from all sides, and it's just too much, right? As I've gotten like hundreds of recommendations ever since I said, hey, I'm buying a racing rig, but because the two that keep coming in are the Logitech. Real quick here, I believe the Logitech one is the G dual motor feedback G29 racing wheel.
Yeah, G29 is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, and so it's that one or the T150 Pro, and so I'll figure it out, man. It'll depend on price, it'll depend on availability, all that stuff. Right now, the T150 Pro hasn't been in stock on Amazon the entire time I've been looking, so that might tell me right there that should be the one I should get because it's a much larger.
Yeah, they rarely go on sale, but when they do, I usually tweet about it and stuff. And we usually share it in the Discord and stuff. But yeah, I think there was actually, it was on sale actually for the first time like 6 months ago, 8 months ago or something. But yeah, and they're expensive. But yeah, if you want the more higher end stuff, like a T150 Pro is pretty good. If you just want any racing wheel, don't care about force feedback. There's the stuff like the T80 that's like under $100. I think was that Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry. Yeah, Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry said cheapy T80 for me under $100. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just having the wheel is the important part, really.
I would say so. Yes. I just feel like, PlayStation VR 2 is going to be this big investment. Even buying this game is a big investment. And it's like, and so I just feel like for something that's, going to last me the entire generation, I'll pony up the extra 150 or 200, like whatever it takes. Because I want the ultimate driving simulation. We got a lot more tips, man. So let's blast through some of these. We got Mutant Fox with the $10 tip. Says, my dudes, I saw your tweet about the last day for the Gran Turismo 7 sale, and I bought it just in time. My first PSVR 2 purchase. Been playing. It's fun, but I'm so excited for VR. I can't even.
Okay. Hell yeah, man. Congrats on your first PSVR 2 purchase. What a hell of one, too. Yeah, man, it was awesome. That sale was really great. The fact that you could get Gran Turismo 7 and Resident Evil Village for a total of $60 is just like, oh, that certainly makes that $550 sting a little bit less. Yeah, kind of.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I mean, those are my first two PSVR 2 purchases. Obviously, we have some PSVR 2 games from the PSVR 1 generation, but as far as PSVR 2 specific games, those were the first two I picked up. We got Pietrek F with the 12 plantain. Says, pro tip. The most money is for golding circuit experiences, I think is what he's saying. Dude, circuit experiences. Thank you to Or Seek the Game Cat, who was in voice chat with me earlier and telling me just how much money you can get from circuit experiences. Holy crap, man. Like, you need some money? Go do those. They don't. The first one at least didn't take long. I'm sure a lot of the other ones do, but they do. You can get a lot of money real fast. So that's really good shit. Good. That
was the one that, like, on the first or second try that I got first on the leaderboard, and I was like, hey! But yeah, shout out to Stingray and Pacer and Elvert that were telling me about that as well. They were giving me lots of tips and tricks and stuff. And
those guys are troopers, man. They were with you like all day Saturday, weren't they?
Yeah. And, we haven't even talked about the multiplayer yet, but I got to play the multiplayer with them as well. It was me, Elvert, StingrayX, and Pacer. And we were just kind of, just hanging out, just talking about the game. And we were like, hey, let's try some of the multiplayer out. And man, let me tell you, it's good.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. This is going to be so great.
It's actually what's on screen right now. It's me and Stingray racing right now through Tokyo.
Nice.
I say racing as if there's any competition here. Stingray gets so far ahead of me. It's like I might as well have been racing on the track by himself. Well, yeah.
I wasn't even like really trying to compete. I mean, I was like competing, but like I don't care about like, I really wasn't care. I was just having fun. Like I didn't care if I was, in first place, last place, middle of the pack. I was just having fun, just driving around and talking and there's some great map designs. If you play GT Sport, there's some returning favorites here. There's also some classic ones that have come back. Like I see you're on Tokyo Expressway right now, which is a great map. But it was just a lot of fun, man. Just hanging out with the cats and driving around and goofing around. Elvert and his crazy ass brought like a Mini Cooper onto a dirt track and was like just crashing everywhere. Like it was just a lot of fun, man. And it's interesting in the multiplayer, they actually have these lobbies that have like a tag on them, and it says playing for real or playing for fun. Yeah. So if ever you're going online, I thought that's a great idea. You can see, okay, these people are like seriously racing and these people are just casually having fun. So, of course, we'll be rocking it with all of our cats anyways.
Ian Sambridge in the chat says, is Brian intentionally bouncing off the walls? Actually, I mean, not intentionally, but I was having fun with it in the on the Tokyo track because that was my first time playing something that wasn't license related or wasn't a competition. I got to like go in and turn off all of the penalties, and so I got to have fun just bouncing off the walls and not taking it nearly as seriously. So I'm glad that footage is in here. You will see me bouncing off walls in serious races here as well, but those were unintentional.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. The longer I played, the less I started caring about running into shit. Like when I first started playing, I was like, don't hit them, don't hit the walls, perfect clean race, get that extra cred.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 10 hours later, I'm just like, get the fuck out of my way, and like smashing into every wall. And it's just, you just have fun, man. Play the way you want to play, and you're gonna smash into walls and have fun doing it, man.
Yeah. The next few tips are all talking about wheels, it seems like. We got Scott Thorpe here with the 10 quid. Says, completed Gran Turismo 7 main story March 22nd. Got to 31 out of 54 trophies last June, then abandoned praying for PSVR 2 launch. Have the play seat challenge and Logitech G923 wheel. Already great flat. Cannot wait for VR.
Very nice.
AJ,
that's what...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's what makes this game so cool is like you can invest into this game and like actually make it like a better experience, like if you want to, and it's got enough content to make the investment worth it.
Yeah, agreed. I will say, having played through a few of the tracks now, I'm a little curious why they chose the track that they did during CES 2023 to be playing. I mean, they only showed 10 seconds, 20 seconds at most of Gran Turismo VR. Why did they choose a boring course, right? Because there are so many, sometimes people say the graphics in Gran Turismo look plain, right? And I do think some of the early courses you race on are very, very standard, full of bare bones. But then you get to ones with great shadows, great lighting effects, time of day changes, the whole thing, and rain and reflections, and it starts like looking really, really good. Why didn't they choose a course that showcased some of that stuff during that really brief clip? It's almost like they were like, hey, we have 30 seconds, just jump into the first track you can and capture something. Hurry up, we got to get this playing.
I think so. I really think that's kind of true because when I've heard people talk about the graphics on this game, and when I first started playing it, I was like, okay, I mean, it looks good, but I'm not like blown away here like as I was expecting from everybody talking about it. Right. But as you start unlocking more and more and more, you get to the point to where you're like, okay, this shit look good. There are lots of moments where it just seems like it just looks better and better and better, especially when it cycles through day and night and the different tracks. It eventually looks very, very impressive. But at first it's like it starts you out very basic, and everything is very basic at first.
Yeah. I can't wait to see more footage of the VR version because I mean, actually, screw that. I can't wait to put the headset on and just see what this looks like in VR because I've actually, because it's just easier. I was talking to Rypop in voice chat earlier, and because I was playing every single race with the interior on. I was playing from behind the wheel because I just enjoy that view so much. I always have since day one. And like the extra attention that the interiors get, I've always enjoyed that. Even in the very first Twisted Metal, right? That was the only one I think with a cockpit view. Yeah,
only one.
And I loved it.
Was so hard to play with that, but
it sucked. But I still loved it, and I played with it all the time because I liked that view so much. But then Rypop kind of reminded me that like when I play Ridge Racer, when I play pretty much any racing game, honestly, you're at your best when you play with the bumper cam on. And you play with that instead, so like you get your full field of view is the track, and it made everything so much easier. So I can't wait to get back behind the wheel and have VR give me that sense of depth and perspective that I need, that I'm not getting on a flat screen the way that I need it. So I
love that you're driving around in this video and looks like you got one of those patrol cars or whatever.
yeah, it has sirens on top of it. I unlocked it right before this race, and then I could use it for the next race. I was like, this is awesome.
I love it, man.
I wanted to pull people over, arrest them and shit.
There's so much in this game. There's like, lots of customization. You're struggling in a race. You can go to the shop and tune up your thing, and it's not like complicated. You just buy some parts for it and it just equips them, and it's pretty user friendly overall. And there's a lot of depth to this game, but yeah, man, this game puts too much attention to the detail of the interiors, to the tracks, to everything. Yeah, you want to. I love that about it. I like to turn off all the HUD and then just make it as immersive as possible, and it's super fun.
Yeah. Real quick, we have more tips here. We got Simply Mincy with the $5 tip says, Gran Turismo 7 in VR is insane. I have a cockpit seat and a Fanatic wheel. I'm so happy this community is hype. I cannot wait for the racing lobbies we create. Yeah, man, I can't either. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Shirzad Khan City with the $2 tip says, G29 bundle awesome with OP haptic feedback.
Okay.
Excellent. We
G29 got recommendation.
Dead Ringer, the Game Cat with the $2 tip says, Don't I want to see Gran Turismo 7 for the first time in VR? ?
No, because you'll spend it 10 minutes sitting at a video.
Yeah, I struggled with this too.
Cinema screen video.
I struggled with this too when I first jumped in and I started, obviously, you get through. There's a lot of conversations you have with people, and you're kind of, when you first start clicking through the UI and going to the different locations, there's conversations, and you're just, for me, I was just hitting X as fast as possible to get through them as fast as possible and skipping any movie that I could. But I was doing the license test, being like, this. Especially the frustrating ones, I think could be more entertaining in VR, because at least you're getting that thrilling experience to go along with your frustration. But I
don't think there's a wrong way to do it. I think if you choose to get some of the early stuff out of the way first, great. I think if you wait for VR, great. I don't think there's a wrong answer here, to be honest with you.
I agree. I just decided, being able to get a jump start on this game, I can only imagine this, PSVR 2 launching with 50 games, and then me jumping into Gran Turismo 7 for the first time on day one. I kind of have to jump ahead whenever possible. Shirzad Khan City with the $2 tip says, is it confirmed a full VR version with no 2D cuts? I don't know what 2D cuts means specifically, but
any cutscenes?
Yeah, I guess I would say.
I'd imagine probably the cutscenes are probably some flat cutscenes and stuff.
I would definitely assume. I would assume the menus will be flat. I would assume any of the cutscenes will be flat. It's all about the racing in this game, and as long as we get the full game, which again, Sony hasn't confirmed specifically. Polyphony Digital hasn't confirmed this specifically that we're getting the full game. But man, if we don't get the full game in VR, it would just be a repeat of a horrible decision that was made last generation, or a horrible circumstance they found themselves in last generation, and I don't think they want to repeat that. So
yeah, especially with their PlayStation Twitter plugging it hey, it's on sale, and Jim Ryan just coming out and saying free upgrade, and then not giving us any more information, just showing us 5 seconds of it. That would be a nightmare and would be a horrible look on their part. So
agreed.
Everything they're indicating so far is that it's the full game. It definitely seems, and given that Kazunori Yamauchi was very adamant about saying how being transparent about his frustrations about the PS4 hardware holding back this thing. We've been talking about this for years, and this is why we expected it to be a launch title. They certainly kept us waiting, huh? But yeah, they've talked about how they're excited about how the PS5 and the VR2 would be the biggest generational leap with the series.
You mentioned kind of like an embarrassment, that it would be an embarrassment if this launched as only a mode on PSVR 2. But there was already kind of an embarrassment with Gran Turismo, or seemingly so. And for me, it was confusing. And when we heard about Gran Turismo coming to PSVR 2, there were questions that I had, because the reports that we had heard really were about, microtransactions, bleeding the player dry. If you want to buy every car in the game, it's going to cost you, 100,000 real life dollars or something crazy like that. I forget exactly what it was. AJ, and I feel like this is a pretty good time to clear up a few misconceptions that people have about Gran Turismo. And so, I didn't play this game at launch. I played this game mostly yesterday and today. And so we want to report on the current state of Gran Turismo. And although we haven't played through the full game, we have talked to enough people who have and gotten the rundown. Microtransactions are not an issue in this game whatsoever. In fact, everybody we've talked to that's played through the whole game says don't buy anything. Like, you unlock so much stuff, and they're absolutely right. You're constantly unlocking new cars, new vehicles, non-stop. Like, just everything you do, every time you turn around, every time you finish a license test, every time you go to the cafe, every time you get lottery tickets, basically, and then they spin the wheel, and every so often you get a new car. That's how I got the one with the sirens on top of it. Like, you're constantly getting new cars. Like, you don't have to buy anything. So if you're concerned about that, don't be concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I do think it is a little grindy, like, but it's,
Oh, yeah.
I've never been like, against grinding. I will say those like reward tickets that they give you are kind of frustrating. Like, I've never hated a reward so much where you get these, yes, it's fine because you get money from getting gold in races, you get plenty of credits. There's tons of side stuff to do to get credits. So yeah, you can play this without spending a dime outside of what you earn in game credits. That being said, I was a little frustrated with the reward tickets that do like a roulette, because it's just like, I don't know. It just seemed like a waste. It's just like, 2,000. It does seem like it's supposed to be some kind of roulette reward system, but it's actually just gives you crap like 90% of the time.
I mean, I've only done like 5 of them, I think. And one time I got a medium pile of cash. One time, I think 2 times I got car parts that I didn't care about. But one time I got a vehicle, and it was a vehicle I could use for the very next race. So I felt very, very fortunate that,
I did not get a vehicle. I started out strong. I got like 10,000 credits. I was like, cool. And then it was just like 2,000 credits, 2,000 credits, 2,000 credits. And I didn't get shit after that. So I found that to be a little bit of a frustrating thing. But again, big picture, like, it doesn't matter because I can just go race and get gold and just buy or get more credits or buy what I want or do the missions or do the track experiences, whatever they're called, get like 100,000 credits instantly. So it's all good.
AJ, as we're giving a little bit of advice here from 2 people that really just started this game, even though we're going heavy into it. So for anybody who hasn't played this yet, it is really important that once you sort of start getting a feel for this game, Robert the Gamecat actually says it in the chat. He says, "Be sure to remember to eventually turn off the assisted driving." As soon as you feel comfortable braking on your own, I say turn that shit off or turn it all the way down to low assist. Same with steering, same with everything else. Stingray was guiding me through all the settings and helping me figure out where I need to be with everything. And yeah, I think the sooner the better. Once you get comfortable with how the game feels, turn off as much of the assist as you can.
Yeah, that's something I learned from GT Sport, which was, there's the worst thing is that auto braking thing.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand the auto braking thing where it automatically brakes for you. You want to turn that off and just follow the markers. There's visual markers that they give you. Keep those on. Use those visual markers to your advantage. And there's a brake indicator. It'll tell you when to brake, either something on the track or you can have it pop up on your HUD and use that stuff. But a lot of those assist things, you'll be like driving and you'll be like, I don't know why it takes the control away from you and it's not good.
Yeah. And like, I mean, to your detriment when it comes to racing, like if you have brake assist on, it's way too heavy-handed. You do not need to brake as much as the brake assist does. And so I was just holding the accelerator down as hard as I could, and it was like, I'm like, come on, all the other cars are pulling away from me. Let's go. Yeah. Fuck that shit.
It tries to be this like ultimate simulator thing. It mostly is, but I wouldn't say it's like a perfect sim game where it's like you have to be like a professional driver in real life to be good at this, but so it's nice. But it does have rules that it's like you said, it's not a game that you can really hold the gas pedal the entire game and take corners. I will say though, as you tune up cars, as you get better cars, you can do that more, which is nice. But some people are not going to like that. Some people like a Ridge Racer where you can, or all this other stuff where you can just floor it the entire time, but this makes you drive a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, all I got to say is just be patient, because I needed an extreme amount of patience. And again, it wasn't just like learning how to drive in a sim racer again. It was about, kind of like learning and navigating the menus and waiting for multiplayer to unlock, because it took me, I don't know, 4 hours. I don't know how many hours to unlock the multiplayer. Depending on what you focus on, of course, right? Because I focused so long on the license test and then moved over to the cafe and started unlocking cars. And so, like, just be patient with it. And if something doesn't seem right, because I actually struggled for a long time. I probably wasted an hour, maybe 2 hours, playing through races I shouldn't have been playing yet. There's ones they allow you to play with these peppers on them, right? The little chili peppers, you know those races?
Oh, the missions, yeah.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be doing those yet. I had not I wasn't activating the menus in the cafe, and Stingray's like, "No, you have to push X to start doing those." And so I was trying to race things that I shouldn't have been racing. And so if something seems wrong, it is. like it's just a little bit of a clunky interface, a little bit of a clunky UI, and it tries to give it more of a like an adventure feel by giving you all these characters that you interact with, and
Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, I'm I don't remember all their names.
I don't know, but because I kind of hate all of them, because they're just getting in the way of me.
Why
and
are
driving.
They so happy?
Yeah,
why are they so happy all the time?
They do seem ridiculously happy. But yeah, but besides that, just be patient with it, and I think. Yeah. I'm not a sim racer fan, and I was pleasantly surprised today. I spent all day playing it, and I would not have done that if.
And this is without even VR yet, man. This is even without VR yet.
Yeah.
Like, just wait. It's going to be so good.
Mr. FT Media says there's a fairly easy 2 million reward for a sub 57.2 second lap online TT challenge. All sorts of good advice coming in the chat.
There's tons of good ways to earn some credits that may not be on the front and center.
Exactly. AJ, we're just getting started. Even though we both sank a ton of hours into this game over the last couple of days, we're both just getting started. Yeah. And but I don't know about you, man, but I am very, very excited. I'm happy the microtransaction thing didn't turn out to be an actual issue. I'm happy that there's a ton of content here, and the fact that this is a launch title for PSVR 2, I think it's all good news. It's all good news. There's nothing really to complain about here.
It is, man. It's a killer app that we desperately needed for the launch, man. This is absolutely 100% a Sony first party killer app.
Yeah. All right, man. And with that out of the way, you know what time it is.
It's time for 20 questions.
It sure is, man. AJ is the host today. That means he has a game in his head of his, a PlayStation VR game, in fact. Yes, sir. What's up?
I just want to apologize in advance. This is super duper ultra mega big ass hard mode.
Big ass hard mode. All right, you guys. I don't know if he's trying to throw me, because part of me is like, he's trying to throw me, and it's going to be Blood and Truth or something. Astrobot rescue mission.
Honest. I think that this is really difficult, and I thought of it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," but it's gonna be hard.
All right, what's that one game that wants to be Farpoint? With the annoying girl that keeps talking. It's not that one. Okay, I don't have to remember that name then. Good.
That's your freebie. No more though.
All right. Well, you guys, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. All of the PSVR veterans in the chat, you're gonna have to help me out. Because, man, it's hard mode. It's hard mode. This is going to be really difficult. So I can't even think of a single PSVR game right now. So I'm starting off pretty bad. I'm going to put 6 minutes up on the clock. We have 20 yes or no questions and only 6 minutes on the timer to figure out what game AJ is trying to stump us with today. So please, for the love of God, ask good questions and make good suggestions based on the answers. On your mark. Get Des. Go. Did I review this game? Have I ever reviewed this game?
Oh God. I don't know, actually. Can you pause the timer?
How about I reset the timer once you come back with an answer?
Okay.
I'm going to try to fix the chat while you're gone, because
I think you did.
The chat's doing that thing where it starts disappearing for no reason.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
When I'm ready?
Yes.
Hold on a second.
Let me know when to answer that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just want to fix the
wasn't
chat,
sure.
man. The chat's disappearing. People are getting back to the future out there. Their hands are disappearing from photographs right in front of our eyes. Let's pop this thing out and fix this. Yeah, this is the weirdest start to 20 questions ever. Sorry, guys. All right. Hopefully this brings the chat back properly. There it is. Okay. Here, let's just browse any. We'll bring the Sharknado trailer up.
What have I done? I'm sorry.
All right. AJ, give me the answer to the question. Have I reviewed this game?
You have reviewed this game.
Excellent. Then, let me wait a few seconds. Yes, I've reviewed it.
Though. Guess what, Brian? You've reviewed every game.
Is this? Would you consider this a bad game? You?
Mostly, yeah. I'd consider it more not very good than it is bad.
Kinda bad. Okay.
Yeah. Kinda bad.
Okay. Let's see here. Is this a horror game?
It is not a horror game.
Okay. I had Stifled in my head, and so I'm glad that's out of the running.
God.
Nick says it's not The Mage's Tale. Yeah, that definitely eliminates that. And No Man's Sky. Is this a shooter? Do you mostly shoot things in this game?
You do not mostly shoot things in this game.
Okay. Is it a puzzle game?
I'm going to say no, because that's not listed on the store, and it's not exactly what I call a puzzle game.
Okay.
That's 5.
All right. Is there any I'm going to go with Ian's question, but I'm going to change it from sports game to multiplayer. Is there any multiplayer in this at all? Because that'll kind of help us out.
There's not multiplayer.
Okay, that probably eliminates sports, but maybe not. Magic, that's a good question. Magic the Gamecat, is it an experience more than a game?
No, it's game.
Okay. Is it first person?
It's first person.
Okay. That eliminates Marvels, you guys.
It's a tough one, man.
I think Focus on You would be very experienced. Like, is there full locomotion?
There's not full locomotion in this.
Okay, that's going to help us out quite a bit, I think, you guys. Shades of Grey Matter asks, is it narrative focused?
No, not really.
Okay.
That's 10.
Okay, yeah, let's get this locomotion system down. Is there movement, like whether it be node to node or teleportation or anything?
No
Okay.
movement.
No movement. Okay, guys. So we're
Wait.
mostly what?
I might need to double check that.
Okay, so we're mostly standing in one place. We're not, but we're not just shooting a lot of stuff. There's no multiplayer.
Okay, it looks like there maybe is node movement.
Okay. Was this?
Couldn't even remember.
Was this either launch or around launch?
No.
Okay, that eliminates Ace Banana, J Smith, but good guess. That's also mostly shooting, but still.
I can't even tell from the video. I don't think that there's any movement in this, but if anything, there's node movement. I'll give you that.
All right. It can't be Gunjack. That would definitely be shooting things. Floor plan, he would know. There's no movement in that. Is this any kind of sports at all, like including like fishing and that kind of?
No.
Okay. No sporting at all. Yeah, that eliminates Headmaster. Jesus. Do you use move controllers in this game?
You do use move controllers in this game. That's 14.
Man, this is rough. Is there a rhythm element at all?
There's no rhythm element.
Okay, that eliminates a lot of stuff. Is it a VR version of like a game we can play outside of VR, like chess or some kind of board game type thing?
No, it's not a VR game. I mean, it's not a non-VR game.
Okay, not a board
VR
game.
only.
But not a board game.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Is it okay?
16.
Jackalope says, "Is it a real-time strategy game? RTS at all?"
No.
Okay.
It's not an RTS.
Crap.
17.
Are there any RPG elements?
There's no RPG elements.
Guys, we are eliminating everything.
I didn't think you had a chance with this one. This is a tough one.
Dude,
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. What are you doing? Are there more than one game you can play in this? Like, can you go from event to event, try to play different games, like a carnival games type thing?
No. There's like mini stuff in it, but no, it's not like a.
Guys, there's mini stuff in it. There's mini stuff in it.
There's maybe like some mini stuff in it.
I like not even ringing a bell whatsoever.
That's 19.
Shit. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm out of time, so I'm just gonna go with Albert's guess. Is it drunken bar fight?
It is not
Oh,
drunken
no.
bar fight. This game,
we gave it a good shot. What is it?
the genre is casual, family, and simulation.
Oh God, I hate it.
And it says, and it is, it came out in November 14th of 2019 by Star Vault AB. It is Kittened.
Oh my.
Where it says, take care of cute kittens, lots of cute kittens, get points for keeping them happy and lose points for everything they destroy. Use points to upgrade your tools, get an automatic food dispenser, or clean up poop faster with the Poop Scoop 3000.
Dude, this game, I remember this game came out when we had nothing to play. And I think I think I could probably point back to this and go, this got overrated slightly, because I was just so happy to have something to play that wasn't like a total dumpster fire. That it was fun, but it was yeah.
Yeah, it was actually like, it was not great. Like I said, I didn't want to really call it a bad game until I ran into a like game breaking bug that then I was like, okay, it's bad. But I thought it was like, okay, it was fun to stream.
007 Feck in the chat said, oh geez, I never would have got that even with 100 guesses. I'm kind of with him. I don't know if I could have gotten it even with 100 guesses, because I sort of forgot about this game.
Yeah. These are the hardest games too. These like middle of the generation games. These are the ones that always stump me, because it's just like, there were so many random in-betweeners right smack dab in the middle of the life cycle that is just like so freaking hard to remember.
Listen, I want you guys to remember this for next Monday, okay? because I'm gonna pick something that AJ has never even heard of on Monday.
I'm gonna go study the entire PS Store library.
Nice. It's gonna be Astrobot. Once I make you study the entire thing, it'll be something you never expect.
You're gonna make me think. I see what you're doing there.
Exactly. All right, you guys. Thank you all for hanging out and listening to our impressions of Gran Turismo 7. It's been a lot of fun over the last few days, making some progress in this game.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's also been.
Excuse you.
Great. That was a time swallowed the wrong way. It's also been really good, like kind of like talking to some of the cats out there about their experience with this game. They've already kind of like, made their way through it. And of course, I don't think I would have touched this if there wasn't a VR version coming.
Oh yeah,
very cool. Thank you to everybody who helped us out and kind of guided us during some of the tougher areas. Really, really, really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Shades of Grey Matter says, Brian, look up your PSVR review with the lowest view count and then pick that game. That's a good idea. I might do that. Although now that I said it out loud, AJ's going to look it up.
Theseus.
Oh, no, not Theseus. Nah, I think that had a good view count. People were curious. All right. One day closer to PSVR 2, AJ. One day closer.
Yes.
Very excited. Guys,
Cannot wait.
if you don't already subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, make sure you click the link in the description below and go subscribe to him over there. Between the two of us, hopefully we'll take care of your PSVR 2 launch needs. You may want to subscribe to Virtual Strangers as well. Oh, and Miles, of course, Miles Dyer. All the links are in the description below. Click them all. Subscribe to everybody. And, of course, join us over on Discord. Click the link in the description. As I said, so many cats out there making my life easier. Jay Meow, Sci-Fi Gamecat, Henry, and, of course, all the moderators. I love you all so much, very dearly. Thank you to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/withoutprogames. And tips here in the chat. Oh, dude, we missed Lincoln Clay's tip. Lincoln Clay VR with the $5 tip says, I'm kicking ass and taking names in Gran Turismo 7 PSVR 2.
Nice.
Nice catch. I would love to challenge you, Lincoln Clay, and tell you that I'll kick your ass. But I know full well my ass is getting severely kicked by everybody.
Yes.
But I'm having fun. That's all that matters.
Can't wait.
Thank you to everybody who supports the channel, not just over here with tips, but also on patreon.com/withoutprogames. Thank you to everybody who participated during the chat. Tried to help me out with 20 questions. It was a tough one for sure. Thank you to everybody who hangs out. Keeps my day more entertaining with every single comment that you leave. And of course, all of you who sit back and watch the show and don't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there. And we love you just as much. AJ, it's Monday. Might I cue the cat?
Cue the cat, Brian, because I want to say see you guys on Wednesday to Bob Zarkoff, the Underground Gamecat Elite Name Squad in the house. ST, what up, homie? Elvert, my dude, says let's race tomorrow. Secrets of. Good to see you. Dan Kiefer says imagine racing with a cute kitten next to you.
Aww.
That sounds lovely. Ian Marsh, thumbs up to you, my friend. Vargosoft, who says goodbye, cat. Shades of Gray Matter, my dude, says it was one of my first PSVR games, though. What, kittens? Nick Mulo, the Game Cat. What up? This is 1J closer. JC, the inimitable, dual willing ass kicking Game Cat says, good night, my wonderful cat. Great show, guys. Time for sleep, purchase to dream, and of PSVR and 2 and its fancy new screens. I can't read. Distracted, the Game Cat says, see you in GT Cats. Go see Puss in Boots. Albert again, StingrayX. The Gamecat 8F. Thank you so much, my dude. Awesome Tatum in the house tonight says Carmania. Twitcher, the single player Game Cat says, here we go. 1, do we soar in this game? You're a little late, Twitcher. I think you're a little behind. Wow. GC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat. Thank you so much for hanging out. Scott Jessico, PSM, Harry Fell, PSVR Game Cat for life says, cue to cat because AJ wants to say bye to seeing lots of repeated names. Ben L of the Game Cat Army says, I agree with Dan. I agree with Dan too. I don't know what he said.
Okay.
Ian Stanbridge.
Well, then I also agree with Dan.
Is kitten the good dog, bad dog of cats? No. It is better than that for sure. But it's not much better. Sinuev1 says Barbie Horse Adventure VR. We can only dream.
I'll take it.
We can only dream. Mark Smith, good to see you as well. I'm going to ask. I'm always going to ask if there's cats in it now. I was hoping somebody would just randomly say, like, is it cats?
I should have asked if there were cats.
Thank you guys so much. It was fun hanging out. And of course, we'll see you in the Discord. That's where I've been living these days.
Yeah. If you guys are Patreon supporters, the $3 tier gives you access to the Patreon voice chat. There is a public voice chat, of course, for anybody who doesn't want to support the channel financially. We totally understand that. No qualms here. But if you do support the channel for $3 or more, make sure that you're getting access to voice chat on Discord so you can hang out and watch. I've been streaming Gran Turismo. AJ's been streaming Gran Turismo. But that's generally where we hang out. So if you don't have access to that and you are a member of Discord, please let us know so we can correct that change ASAP. You're all very patient. Thank you very much. Let's get out of here, AJ. We love you. Good night. We got more Gran Turismo to play.
Yeah, baby. See you in the Discord.
Yeah.